Hello, guys. Uh, Hello, I'm P. Siddharth, and this is live. Uh, my my first streaming, which I'm doing. I hope this is beginner friendly on approaching how to solve lead code questions. So I can see some people in the chat. Siddharth, I can see. So if there are at least five people in the chat, I would start so that I can at least know that people are in the chat. So the format is quite simple. We'll be actually solving two lead code questions, and I will be sharing my whiteboard also through Excalidraw, and I'll show how I approach generally by solving problems. Okay, let me showcase my lead code profile for now. So I have not solved quite a lot of problems, but I have solved around 178 problems, in which 111 are medium and 16 hard and 50 on easy. I usually have solved topics like graph, then trees, dynamic programming, and little bit of stack and linked lists. I have been consistent for the last 18 days and I have been solving all the problem of the days. In problem of the days also, I try to have some intuition regarding the question. And if I'm not able to solve at all, then I take help from the discussion section or from chat GBD to understand how this actually works. Mostly from the 12 questions, I have taken help for around six problems or five problems, but I really couldn't understand how I was hit with you know um time limit exceeded or just like that. So I had to take help. But yeah, it's okay to take help unless you are understanding, you won't be able to move forward. So I have solved using Java, sometimes Rust, just for the sake of it. I use Rust, by the way. And so yeah, I hope we can begin things. I can see two people in the chat, so I guess I'll start. I hope people join in, and then let's see. So let me see what I can actually start with. Let me start with the first problem of the lead code, that is the two sum problem. Let's start with the basics. So the lead code format is quite easy. Okay, it has already shown me a solution, but let me just go down and then comment it. Yeah, we don't want anything of that sort. Yeah. So this is the first question of lead code. Many of you have already solved it, but let us again revisit this question just to understand how things are working. So the question, first of all, always try to read the question, understand the question, what it says, what it conveys, because sometimes people just read it in a hazily manner and then they directly jump into coding it up and then solving. I guess that approach is not that good. First, let us read the question carefully and then see what are the example cases. So it says given an array of integers nums and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. Okay. We may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use same element wise. Okay. You can return the answer in any order. Okay. So quite interesting question. We have an integer of nums which is given to us and a target integer. So as you can see, you can select your language from here. I'm using Java for simplicity. So as you can see, here it says that I've been given a class called solution, and I'm given a function which has two input parameters given to me, which is nums and target. So you can imagine that the test case which they have written, they may create a solution class like this. Maybe class sol equal to new solution class. Maybe when they are testing my code, they can actually create like this, and then they can actually execute the function like return sol dot and then to sum. And in this to sum, maybe they're passing in their array as well as the k, assuming the integer value. Maybe this is how they are testing. That's why they are giving me a function, and there is a return type associated to it. So this return type states that I have to return the indices. So that's why the return type is an array. I hope this is clear. uh, Once you can, oops, yeah, once you can say confirmed in the chat so that I can move forward, or else I will just go ahead. Uh, Okay then, so I'll be moving forward. So let us think about this problem, how we can actually solve this problem. So let me take a whiteboard. So this is my whiteboard right over here. So this is an Excalibur. So let us think, imagine how this problem is. The problem is quite simple, guys. We were given an integer array, maybe 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we also have a target given to us. So let me zoom in a little bit. So there, it's quite simple. We are given an array as well as a target value. So maybe let us say 7 was given to us. So I have to check through the array and I have to check whether 7 exists or not as a sum of any two numbers and return their indices. Let me write down the indices also. So let me write that down in maybe red color. So 0, then 1, then 2, 3, and 4. Let me remove these things. So right out of my mind, what solution comes is maybe I can loop through this once, and maybe I can check if this element plus this element or its next element is equal to 7. So maybe I can take a pointer using this. Let me make it orange. So I can actually take a loop here, which is my I pointer. So maybe this is my I pointer, and it can actually iterate through the loop, and maybe it can check. But he's telling that we need two numbers. So I guess I need another pointer called J. So if I take same loop using I and J, I guess it's not that possible to explore all possibilities, because what if my actual answer is 1 and 5 and this was actually maybe 6? Who knows? The target can be anything. So how will I keep track of this pointer also? So it's quite difficult to actually use one for loop. So maybe what I can do is uh, the initial approach can be okay, that I take I, but instead of I'm wanting to take two numbers, right? So I can maybe take another loop that can be a nested loop called J, so that I can have track of these elements again, and then I can actually cross these things. So like nested loop, right? So I will have all the possibilities. So one can be taken and five also can be taken, one with four, one with three, one with two. So one will have all the possibilities, like all the pairings with its other four numbers. I guess this is pretty solid understanding. So let me explain it again. If I took only singular loop, it will be quite difficult to track two numbers at a time. I have to like do I plus one or I plus two, and it's not that worth it. Like it will be very difficult. Instead, if I take another loop such that I'm having track of these numbers, I can actually do nested loop, so that this will also go from 0 to 4 indices, and this will also go 0 to 4 indices. So I will have all the possibilities with 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, and 2 to 3, 2 to 1, 2 to 4, 2 to 5. So it will be a little bit easier for me. So what I can do is, I can, here I will do I plus 1, means I and J tracking, and I can check whether my, let me write that down. If my air, let me take the array as like nums, right? Let me take the same nums. If my nums of I plus nums of J is equal to target, then I can actually, he told me to return. So I can return I and J, I comma J. I guess this will work. Let's not think about time complexity, how it is going to work. Let's just think about a brute force solution. Even if you're going to an interview, the interviewer expects you to at least come up with a brute force solution. That is your initial reaction while seeing the problem. It is natural to have a brute force at first, and then you optimize it later as the interview proceeds and how he talks to you. So as you can see, this actually returns perfectly fine. So let's try to code it up using Java. You can actually use any programming language of your choice. I am using Java because that's what I have been using since the past year. So I don't want to shift languages. So let's go to my screen, and whatever we have discussed, let's try to slowly, write it down. So what I told, let me write in comments. I iterate through my nums array using two loops. So, and then I check for whether my target is there is a sum using my I and j. If yes, then I return true, or else uh, he's told that there will be a solution, but sometimes, in some cases of the interviews there may not be any solution only. Like here, for example, you see 2, 7, 11, 15 and 9 is given. LeetCode said that there will be a solution, but let us write a base case where there will be no solution. For example, the 7 was 8 example, then there is no way we can achieve 9. So maybe in that case I can return -1 and -1. Okay, just for the sake of it. So let me write return statement over here if we don't find anything. So the syntax is return new integer, which is the data type, and the elements. So -1 and -1. This is how we write in Java. You can follow any other language. So first step is iterate through a nums array using two loops. Okay. So let me write down my loop. So I can write for int I equals to 0, because index starts from 0 in many of the programming languages and how the memory stores. So nums and then its length. We don't want to go in the like greater than the length, because if the length is 5, the maximum it can go is at the num length -1. So I'm just using less than only, so it won't actually go anywhere. So nums dot length, and then I have to iterate one at a time. I can copy this loop because I have to do the same thing. So let me go ahead and let me change it. I can make it j, and j should be also nums dot length. It should also go in there. Then now I have to do the actual work. Then uh, then check for whether my target is a sum using I and j. So let's write that down. So what is my target's name? What is my array's name? Nums of I plus when I do nums of j. If that is double equal to, that means I'm checking it equal to my given target. Then what I have to do? I have to return it. Return new integer, which is data type, and then I have to return the indices. So I comma j I can write. I hope this helps. Let me run this. Okay, I have gotten a wrong answer. Let me check what that answer is. Okay, I don't have to see. Good thing which I encountered. My algorithm, what it did was it returned 0, 0. But this is a wrong answer, because first of all, there is exactly one solution, that is 1, 2, which is I guess 2, 4. And I also overlooked a thing. Here he said you may not use same element twice. Okay, there is a constraint over here that I should not use the same element twice. I overlooked that thing. So what I can do is very simple, guys. The same element twice means, because what this means is that I think there are no duplicates. Okay, there is a valid answer exists. So it's quite simple, because I was using 0, 0. Again, I was using the same element, and he said that don't use same element. I can simply put an AND condition here, such that the I is not equal to j. So here 0, 0 case will be omitted over here, and the for loop will again run. So while I is not equal to j, if the sum of two indices return target, I can return the target. I guess this should work now. If there are any things shouldn't work, we'll see. Okay, it passes the test cases. Let us try to submit this. Let me bring it down. Let's try to submit it. Let us see if it passes all the test cases. Hooray, it passes all the test cases. And it is indicating me that it doesn't lead to too many problems. Let's analyze this problem again. Okay, we have solved our first question in the LeetCode. Quite thing. We also encountered some error and we overcome it. Now here it says he has a follow-up thing. He says, can you come up with an algorithm that is less than O of n square time complexity? Now, okay, what is O of n square? I guess you have taken algorithms class. Every CS grad takes that. So the algorithm class is quite simple. Every algorithm has some time complexity. It is the relation between your algorithm's input as well as the runtime, the complexity of how it changes depending on your input. So our algorithm is, I guess, O of n square. if this is a linear graph, then I guess we are not following that. Ours is like little bit tilted like this because it's O of n square, and I guess ours is like this, O of n square. Why was it O of n square? It is quite simple because there are I and j which are iterating over the same loop. So if my length of array was n, then I was sorry, it was iterating from n to n and 1 to n, and j was also doing the same thing. So the runtime became n into n, which is n square. Can we actually optimize this? Before optimizing it, let us think of it. Uh, why we need to optimize? Obviously, big of n square means if there are many elements in the array, like if there are 1,000 elements, then there will be 1,000 into 1,000. That is how much? 10 power 6, I guess. Yeah, so 1 million comparisons will be required. And here it stated that there will be a solution. But imagine if there was no solution, then all the comparisons will go ahead, and still we won't be able to get the answer. So let us try to optimize this a little bit. So this is the thing. Let us try to bring the complexity to big of n at least. So let me write that down. What we need. This is n square. So I can just write 2 here, big of n square. Let us try to optimize this a little bit. So what I can see is I'm actually checking all the possibilities I to j, and then I'm returning it. But I guess it's not required to actually do all the things. Instead, what if I had only one loop, and what I checked was if the current element's complement exists in the array. What is complement? Let me tell you. Example, your question was 7, right? Your target was 7. So imagine you came up to index 2. So where I equals to 2, the nums of I is 3. What if you had some data structure which can tell you if your target minus nums of I is in that box, let me call it a box, the data structure, then I can actually instantly return the new integer, like return answer, because I can check whether its complement, that is target minus nums, that is 4, is present or not. If it's present, I have no need to go further down the lane and check again. I can just do this condition instead of trying to find out all the possible answers, like comparing everything and everything. It takes time also to compare. So maybe I can use this thing and return the answer. I guess this approach sounds good. So what is some kind of a data structure that allows us to compare two things together and do it? One thing, because I've solved many problems, it comes to my mind is we can use a hash map. Hash map in Java or C++, it is unordered list, or in Python, it is dictionary. So it's quite simple to do it using a hash map. So what I can do is, let me demonstrate it. If I have a hash map which is having key value pairs, the keys will be my normal for loops. Example, it can be my like normal values like 3, and if the 3 value isn't there, then I will put the value, like if it didn't actually equal to the target, for example 2, example. But if 3 exists, like when 4 was approached through the loop, and 4 minus 7, absolute value 3, it already exists here. So maybe I can update this and I can return the new integer. Let us try to code it up and then let's see. Okay, let's try to code this algorithm. So I have to just check this time using one for loop, the target minus nums of I in the box, that is the hash map. Let's go to my LeetCode thing. I can see many people in the chat. Thank you. That's nice. Yeah. So, okay. Let's remove this inner loop, and I have already written the solution. Let me actually bring that solution up. Okay. Let me copy that and we paste it over here. So let us first forget about this part. Okay. Let's first forget about this part. Let's try to understand what I'm doing. So this is our data structure which I can use, a map. So if you're familiar with Java, this should be like understandable, but those who are not familiar with the language, let me make you understand. So I have a hash map, which is like a dictionary, which actually accepts these as key value data type. So integer paired with an integer. So an example would be 1 comma 2, because both are integers. Its name is map, and it's like a instance of a class hash map, which is given in the collections library of Java. Okay, this is the declaration. Now, this is the thing which I have to look at. Let's first concentrate on what I actually told you. I told you that I will use a for loop and I will check the complement, which is the complement. What I told complement was int target of nums of I. Okay, that's cool. Now, let me focus on this part. If my map already contains the complement, okay, that means, for example, 2 is there. Okay, 2, initially the map will be empty, obviously. So if 2 contains in the map, no. But if it would have contained and its complement will also be contained over there, so what I can do is I can return that thing. So let me actually show you the whole algorithm. See, what this is skipped in the first thing, because when 2 is here, the map will be empty, so this won't be actually executed. So it will be like this. So what I will put is, I will put nums of I, which is my 2, with the index. Okay, I can put the index, which is 0 index. Now, the next time I encounter 7, what I can do is, this won't be there yet in the map, but actually I would have encountered this one. So I can actually use the complement, and I can return the thing. Let me run this code and make you understand. See, it runs perfectly. So what happened was, see, here when I iterate through the loop first, 2 doesn't exist in the map, doesn't exist. So what I will do is, I will put 2 and the index value, which is 0. Now, when I again encounter 7, I will check 7's complement, which is what? Which is 2, if it exists or not. So here, actually, I have stored nums of I only. So here's 7, right? So you can see that complement will be 2. This will be the complement, because see, here complement will be there. This will be calculated in the next iteration. This exists. 2 has already exists in the map. We have put it over here. I can simply return the integer. So I can just return the complement, which is 0th index will come here. Here 0th index will come, and the ith value, which is the current loop value. So it will 1. So it will return 0, 1. I'm sorry, I was not sharing the LeetCode screen, but I'm extremely sorry. Let me actually again try to do this. Flip, take it out. Cut कर दो भाई. Sorry guys. Okay, मैं फिर से समझाता हूँ. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? What we are doing is, okay. If it was not visible, then let me actually start again. See, here we have a hash map which accepts integer paired to an integer, and it is an instead of hash map class in Java. Quite simple. Now, what I'm doing is, let me remove the comments also. I'm just checking. I'm looping through it one time, and actually I'm calculating the target complement. So the first, let's take this example. Okay, let's take this example, and let me comment this so that you will be able to understand. So first 2 will come here, and 2's complement will be calculated, which is 7. Now, if my map contains 7, I can return the thing with its complement, but it doesn't contain. So I can push into the map. What I will push 7, 0. This I will push. Now I value jumps to 1. So now 7 comes into picture, and the complement is 2 now. The complement is 2 because target minus, which is 9. Target is 9. Let me also write that down over here. Target is equal to 9. When I do it, I will become 2. Does my map contain the key of complement? Target. Yes. So I can see that my 7. Okay, once. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. This should be 2. Yeah. So my complement is already contained in the map. Then I can actually get the complement value, which is the 2, which it is storing, that is 0. So 0 it is storing. So what it will do is, it will Let me comment that down. So it will return 0 comma and I, which is the 1 in this iteration. So therefore the actual values which will actually sum up to the target is 2 comma 7. So that's how it works, and let us try to execute it. How it was 2 comma 0 is because actually I was putting nums of I only. So here the first element was 2. So I was just storing the value as well as the index. So that's why it was 2, not 7. But in the second iteration, because we calculated the complement, which is 9 minus 7, so 2 already existed. So I can just return that. Let us run this. So it runs perfectly. Let us try to submit this. If there are any discrepancies, we can see that. And okay, it beats 97, 98%. Although you can't believe these numbers, but it was quite, you can actually see it is within the limit. Let's try to analyze the time complexity. So what is time? Oh yeah, we have achieved optimized solution with big of n. We just used extra space complexity. Let us also use space complexity. It is also bigger of n because I was trying to store all the elements in a map. So n elements big of n. So I traded n square time for that. So this is the optimized solution. I guess we can no longer optimize this further because it is quite a good thing. So I hope you were able to understand how we solved our first question on LeetCode to some. Uh, give a like to the stream if you were able to understand, if you get a hang of it. We can actually now proceed to maybe a medium problem. So let us proceed to the problem of the day. So this is the problem of the day. Let me try to make you, or I can actually choose a easy problem. Write down in the chat if you want to actually uh, go ahead and do the next medium problem, or you want to stop this stream and or else you are able to understand how we are solving. If you want, I can just end this. Like, if is it uh, like, do you want me to continue? Just write down in the chat. Medium, okay. My friend Siddharth has said okay. So okay, let's try a medium problem. Uh, let me pick up a good question, which is a medium level, because some questions are a little bit difficult. Uh, Let me check if I have good questions. Just give me a moment. I'll just try to, you know, look for some good medium problems. Which medium. Check if a string is palindrome or not. Okay, this. Okay. I can actually use this only. Use this problem only. Let's try to solve this problem using the given knowledge. Yeah. Let's go with this problem. This was actually as a asked as a problem of the day. I have solved it using Rust, by the way. No flexes. Okay, let us read the question. Usually when you are tackling a medium problem, it usually uses some advanced data structures or advanced algorithms, little bit. Like, if it can be a question of graph where you have to implement a BFS or a DFS, or you have to do topological sorting. If you don't know these concepts, don't worry, there are some of the algorithms that we use on graph entries. So, and strings also has some good amount of medium problems with high complexity and some patterns. So as you can see, let's read the problem. Minimum add additions to make the parenthesis valid. And one thing about medium problems is you have to actually do a lot of edge cases. You have to see a lot of edge cases, and you have to read the question again and again because it's quite difficult to understand it in one go. Let's try to do that the same. A parenthesis string is valid if and only if it is an empty string, or it can be written as AB such that A is concatenated with B. That means A and B are situated right beside each other, where A and B are valid strings, or it can be written as A within brackets where A is a valid string. Okay. You are given a parenthesis string S. In one move, you can insert a parenthesis at any position of the string. Okay. For example, s equals to this, if example it is, you can insert an opening parenthesis to the left, which is this thing, or else you can actually insert it to the right. Okay, I can insert to the end, or I can insert in any position. Okay, write the minimum number of moves required to make s valid. So here examples are given. That is a good thing. So let me copy that example, come over here. This is the given input. It says this is the thing. I have to make it valid. So what I can do is I can insert to the left thing. Now it becomes valid. By the way, valid means the number of opening brackets, which is this. This should be equal to this. The count should be equal to this, and they have to face each other, such that whenever an opening is encountered, it is actually followed by a closing thing. So maybe this can be a valid thing. This is a valid thing. I have 3 pairs and they're perfectly opening and closing. But this is not valid, guys. This is not valid. Although the count is same, but this is not valid because every opening bracket is not having a closing thing. So let's try to analyze this problem. Okay. So how I can solve this problem? Let's think about it. So every time I am going from string s1 s from 0 to its length, I have to check about opening parenthesis as well as closing parenthesis. I have to check about it. So what I can do is I can actually count the things, but if I count it, maybe the ordering will not be, it may not be matched, because if I try to count for this thing, this will actually result in an error because the count will say that, okay, left parenthesis count is similar to the right parenthesis. So actually it may return, true, or it may return empty, that no need to actually make it valid. But that is not the case. If we have to make it valid, we have to return, actually 6 will be the answer, because here I will insert again 1 2 3, and here I will insert again 1 2 3. So now this will be a valid thing. So here 3 parentheses, then 3 parentheses, and here next 3 parentheses. Answer will be 6. But if I use the approach of counting the parentheses or not, then it may not work. Although some solutions have worked it out, but they are twisted questions. Like the solutions are a little bit different. So what I can use is, because I've solved a lot of problems, I know that whenever I'm doing this kind of comparisons of parentheses and this kind of things where I have to know beforehand about the thing, like whether it is opening or closing when I'm iterating, then I know that I have to typically use a stack. How do I know this? Because I have solved problems, I have seen the discussion section, they recommend stack. I'm not a genius that I have figured it out instantaneously. This is a stack problem. In my class during third semester, also this kind of questions were given, and my professor usually used to tell me that this kind of questions usually use stack. It may not be compulsory or valid, but it is good to know some problems utilize. Like I can 100% say this is not a graph problem. I cannot spot any graphs. So sometimes when you practice a lot of similar problems, you analyze patterns and you check it. So I can try to use stack in this. Okay, and if you scroll down, you can actually click on this topics button. You can actually see what are the topics this problem may or may not require. So it says string, obviously string is given, and it says stack, and it also says greedy. That's nice. So you can actually go here and see the discuss section, but I don't wanna go ahead there now. Okay, so let me declare a stack which stores integer values and st equal to new stack. Let me tell you what is my approach, what I am thinking. I can say I iterate in the loop from 0 to the length. This is my algorithm, guys. It's not code, okay? I can iterate from 0 to length. If I encounter left parenthesis, if I encounter my left parenthesis, I can add them to stack. Add them to stack. I can add them to stack. If I encounter, I'm writing in plain English, if I encounter this symbol, okay, what I can do is I can actually check if my top of stack is this or not, if the left parenthesis. If it is, I can actually pop it out. I can actually do stack dot pop. I can just remove this. Else, what I can do is I can push it to stack. Push it to stack. at the end, I will return the stack size, that much amount it should be done. How did I know it? Let me tell you. Let us take this example. Okay, very beautiful example given by LeetCode over here. Let me comment it down. So if I go from, let me give some spaces. This is the 0th index from 0 to length. If it is opening bracket, I push it to stack. So maybe I can have a stack over here. So my stack from 0, this is the top. Okay, the top points here. I will push it to the stack. So let me take square bracket so that you will be able to understand. I have pushed it into stack. Nice. Now the loop goes here, which is the right parenthesis. So I have encountered right parenthesis. My loop encountered it. But now I check if my top of stack is this, which is the left. And it is indeed left. Then I can remove that. Let me remove that. And I can actually go again in the loop for I from 0 to length. Now again I encountered this right parenthesis. Okay. But this time my stack was empty and it did not contain this. So I can actually push that element to the stack. So now I will push this into stack. My loop ends and I will just return the stack size. And stack size is what? It is equal to 1. See, the answer is 1. Let us try another problem. Let us take this same problem, which is here. So let us do it. For 0 to length, this is opening parenthesis. I can add the opening parenthesis. Fine. Again, I went opening parenthesis. Okay, I added to the stack. Opening parenthesis. The string is exhausted. Like my for loop is over. But I did not, because I did not encounter any closing parenthesis, I can just return the stack size. Brother, these did not have any pairs. These are all unmarried guys. They didn't find anyone, any partner. So, sorry, bros. We have to return all the unmarried guys. That is the like non-closing parenthesis. So this is how I will solve it. I hope the algorithm is fine. Just okay. Can you solve 267? Maybe, but the time constraint. Let me just code this up and just try to do it. I'll try that 267. I'll give it a try. Maybe or maybe not. I will be able to solve or not. Okay, I'll try my best. Let us code this. So what I can do is for loop through the array s dot length, and in the length we have brackets I plus plus. Okay, I'm looping through it. Now if my s dot character, in Java it is character at ith position, okay, is equal to left parenthesis. I encountered left parenthesis. S dot add, I think s dot push is the answer, not the answer. Okay, I have to actually take character as a data type because I'm pushing character. Integer won't work. I can push it. Left parenthesis, I can push it. Else, if my s dot character at I is equal to a closing parenthesis. Now what I have to do? Then I have to check again, right? I have to actually check if my stack, first of all, it should not be empty because this may result in an error. It should not be empty and it should peak, or I guess top. I forgot. It is peak only. Peak equals to left. I can actually do stack dot pop. So if I encounter these things, okay, I don't have to write that. I think I can actually merge this in else if statement only. Yeah. And let me actually indent this perfectly. Yes. So if my character was left, I just pushed it. If it is this right parenthesis, I just check if my stack is not empty and the peak is left. If it is a left parenthesis because I found a pair, pop it out. No problem. But else if, or else I can, because there are only two possibilities in this condition, I can just add them into the stack. So I just add them into stack. Stack dot push of I. Should I push I or should I push s dot character I? I should not push that. I guess, yes. Character only I should push, and here also should push that because or else it will give an error. Do I have to actually store the integer or character? Let us see. Or else I can go in my submissions what I did wrong. I can figure it out. You can just return the size. Uh, Let me run it. Let's see if there are any problems. It will tell. Okay, nice. Didn't have any problems. Ijjat bach gayi meri. So, okay, let us try to submit this. I'll try to again submit this problem. Okay, nice. Solution got accepted. So this is how we solve problems of medium complexity, guys. Uh, I hope you are able to understand. I don't expect you to actually understand, all the things that I've talked across this video. Maybe you're a beginner or maybe you're advanced guy trying to test my knowledge coming to my YouTube live stream. Just kidding. So I will admit that I don't know that much of LeetCode. I'm just trying out my best. There are many legends out there who have solved more than 800 to 1000 problems. But I'm just trying, help my friends out who are actually stuck, who have not even started something, just wanted to do that. And gentleman Saurabh has told me to actually try it for 267 problem. Let me go over here. Let me see if I can solve it or I've already solved it. Let's give it a try. I can go to the problem section. Let me search 267. What is that? Minimum add to make parentheses valid. Sorry. Palindrome permutation. Okay, it's a premium problem, sir. I don't have a premium access. Sorry for that. I'm not that rich, sir, that I have a LeetCode premium subscription. But I hope you were able to understand this. Those who have joined new, just joined just now, watching this now at your home. I am P. Siddharth. I am a full stack developer from Geetham University. I have done 2 internships in web as well as cloud. So I have experience with building web applications using latest technologies like Turbo Repos, Next.js, PostgreSQL, and I use NeoVim and REST, by the way. So that's what I do, and I also solve LeetCode. I have been starting out doing these things. I'm in third year of my engineering, BTech CSC. So I hope you found this video to be useful. Please try to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, LinkedIn. Everything I have just shared everything in my description. I'll try to plug in it in. If there are any doubts, you can actually uh, give me maybe chat in this chat. You can actually write that down or you can connect to me. I also do I also try to publish projects on GitHub. If there are any questions that you have, actually you can ask me. So if there are any questions, I can take it from the live chat. If not, actually we can end the stream. It's exactly 45 minutes that I planned, and the time has worked out very well. आपके प्रश्न अगर कुछ है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, नहीं तो हम स्ट्रीम एंड कर सकते हैं. So I hope there are no questions, or else you understood everything. There are actually 3 watching right now. I think I am one of them because I have opened a tab 1 over here. So let's see. I'll wait for 1 minute for any questions, or else I'll just end the stream. This is my first live stream, by the way, on YouTube. I think it went down quite well. I guess there are no questions, so I guess we can end the stream. Thank you, StreamYard, for letting me stream. It's a wonderful software, by the way. Check it out. And YouTube, love you. LeetCode also, thank you. So yeah, I'll be ending the stream, and the name is Siddharth. I'm copying Primeagen man. Okay. Bye guys. Yo.